August is a beautiful month coming up, and let's all enjoy it. But you know what? Let's enjoy this show because we have a very special guest, a man who proved that he is the number one contender at UFC 317. A big, big jump in the contention ratings. And none other than Brandon Royval. Brandon, how are you?
He's not Brandon Royval.
I know, I'm kidding. I thought I'd just say that, just see how you're on. Joshua Van! There you are, Joshua. Pardon my joke, Joshua. I like to keep TJ on his toes a little bit, maybe surprise the guests once in a while.
Sir, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Joshua. I'm good. Joshua, you were so impressive in that fight, and it was so unreal. Your strategy against Brandon Royval, coming in on a short notice and doing what you did, just impressive. You know, I'm impressed by a lot of fighters in the UFC over the years, many, many fighters, but you made a huge move in this fight with the way the fans look at you, the way the powers that be look at you, and to go to number one in the contender ratings. What was your rating going into that fight?
Man, my thing is just to win the fight. You know what I mean? When they gave me a call, I was just like, let me just take this fight, and if I win, I get the title and things like that. So yeah, that was just my mindset going into the fight.
I'll answer for him. I think he was number 11, Buff.
Yeah, number 11. It wasn't even in the top 10. I have never seen a fighter go from outside of top 10 contention directly into number one. I mean, that's an historical move. Have you ever seen that, TJ?
Not that I can recall. And you mentioned Brandon Royval. Credit to him for taking this fight, because if I was Royval, I don't think I'd be taking on Josh Van if I were given the opportunity, especially on short notice. He was the number one contender. Joshua is this kid who's been tearing it up. A lot of people, Royval had a lot to lose and not necessarily a lot to gain to take on Josh, but he's a born fighter, and he stepped up. But, man, Joshua stepped up in a way that he would not be denied, Buff. Personally, I think that's the best fight we've seen all year.
I definitely think it's a contender for Fight of the Year, no question. And I just have to ask real quick, is Joshua's volume up high enough?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. I was having a hard time for now. It's coming through. You know what? Contender of the year, but I mean, when you look at it, landing 419 significant strikes, which was a UFC record, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else you want to get a first for here in your fight, Joshua? Going from 11 to 1, landing the most significant strikes ever in a UFC fight in the 33 plus years that this has been in existence. I mean, landmark achievements. And then to earn Fight of the Night against Royval, landmark achievement. Any other landmark achievements that I'm missing here?
I think that's it, right? I don't know what else to say, man. Shout out to Royval for giving me a chance, but other than that, man, he was a great fighter, and I'm just honored to be in the cage with him.
Well, what was the real quick? You mentioned short notice, Buff. What was the time difference between your last fight and then the Royval fight?
The preparation time or what?
Yeah, how much time?
For the Royval fight, we got 2 weeks, because they gave me 3 weeks, but the fight week is just the weight cut and all those media stuff. So we got 2 weeks. But the Bruno Silva fight, I think I got 6 week to 7.
Right. And earning the Fight of the Night award against Royval, I'm sure that was very exciting for you, because it definitely can be a bit of a life changer when you get a nice bonus like that. And congratulations on that. I love seeing fighters get their bonuses. What, if anything, did you learn from your performance against Royval based on how you normally fight that you'll carry into a title fight when you go into your title match?
Man, I learned that I got to work on my defense a lot more. Getting hit that much in the fight, it wasn't it don't feel great after the fight. You know what I mean? When I was in the fight, I was enjoying the fight and everything, but after the fight, I was feeling all those punches and stuff like that. So I got to work on my defense for sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to fight every fight like that. That's not a
Yes, sir.
brain smart thing to do, shall we say.
Yeah.
You want to keep yourself sharp and everything. You know, you're very humble, Joshua, and it's very cool to see. And I always love that in a fighter. Um, you know, you get in there, and I think you prove yourself with your fists, you prove yourself with your feet, you prove yourself with your takedowns, your submissions, and all of that. And it's wonderful to see a fighter that's so well rounded like that. Are you going to prepare differently for a potential title shot against Alejandro Pantoja?
Uh, Not really, man. I have confidence in my team and I have confidence in myself. You know what I mean? I feel like if we switch up things like that, you know what I mean, it's not gonna go well for us. So I feel like we will stay the same, but we know that he's gonna come in grappling strong. You know what I mean? So, but we gotta let something for that. But other than that, man, we just gonna prepare it the same way we always do.
Yeah, I think the big test for you in training for that, or one of the big tests, not tests rather, training for that fight would be on countering Pantoja's grappling. You know, countering those takedowns, gaining the confidence to avoid the takedowns, right? Which, let's face it, what's the greatest way to avoid a takedown unless you're against the cage? The sprawl. You know, just catch him and sprawl. And
Yeah.
I think I'm correct in that. Am I not, TJ?
Yeah.
And I feel like he gonna have a hard time fighting a guy like me too, cause you know what I mean. The guys that he fought before, they gave him too much respect and things like that. But you know what I mean. I don't think he ever fight a guy that is as confident as me going forward. You know what I mean. So I think it's just gonna be a battle between you know what I mean, the striker and the grappler.
Right. And not to bring up a painful memory, but does your knockout loss to Charles Johnson in any way affect your moving forward? And, a lot of fighters, they get affected by that. Do you even think about that, or is just something that happened, it's past?
Nah, that was the best thing ever happened in my life.
Good.
I was getting cocky, man, and then you know what I mean. I just got humble, and now I'm in the gym, training, trying to get better every time. So, I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Exactly. It's one of my biggest complaints when fighters get too cocky and do what they do. It's like sooner or later you're going to get caught. When you get caught, you either learn from it or you don't. And everybody from Anderson Silva to yourself has gone through that situation. So it's definitely got to be a performance changer. As far as your high strike rate that you had against Brandon, going against Pantoja, you said you don't want to get hit as much. I think that will probably affect your high strike rate too. Like maybe choosing your position or choosing your shots better, or will it not affect it?
Well, here's one thing. I say I got to work on my defense, but the thing is, Royval is very long, guys. Most of the time, like when I hit him and I step back, his arm would still reach me and things like that. But you gotta remember, Pantoja is my height. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a lot easier for me to hit him and not get hit. So I feel like, you know what I mean. I'll do a lot better here with my striking than the Royval fight.
Very cool. You feel a lot of pressure coming up if you're fighting for a UFC flyweight title. Being as young as you are at 23, does it create more pressure for you, or is it just another fight?
Nah, it's just another fight, man. I just happen to be, we'll be like fighting for the championship. You know what I mean? So it's just another fight.
Wonderful. And aren't you excited about potentially being one of the youngest UFC champions ever?
Yeah, I'm excited to be like that. I'm gonna be the first Asian male UFC champion. You know what I mean? That is history in the making.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I didn't
go.
even think about that. Here we are, first, setting
Yeah.
records left and right. I don't know, no offense against Pantoja. I'm always made the best man or woman win, but when you think about how you're setting precedents and everything else, I think there's destiny in this future that we're talking about. You know, that'd be awesome, and to be the first Asian champion in the octagon, that'd be an incredible achievement for many, many reasons beyond the obvious.
Yes, sir, and it will happen because I write it on the paper, and
Right.
it will happen. So,
Well, if you wrote it down, I always say in the motivational speeches I get, no matter what idea you have, no matter what your goal is for the future, if you don't write it down, it's not going to happen.
yes, sir.
And there's an actor named Jim Carrey who wrote a $20 million check to himself and kept it in his wallet, right? You know Jim Carrey, the actor? And he did that when he was very, very, very young, right? And lo and behold, he made a $20 million plus payday, and it came true. You know,
There you go.
write it down.
What, what else have you written down, Joshua?
Man, before I got called to the UFC, I said I have this journal, and I said Road to UFC. I will be in the UFC this year, and as soon enough they called me, and you know what I mean. Ever seen that, I just start writing everything down, like everything that I do, and just you know what I mean. And this right here, if you look at the thing, like look at this, my screen. You know what I mean? I've been having this, I've been having this for 5 years now. You know what I mean? So I just read this every morning. Every morning I wake up, I'll just look at my screen, and that's the first thing I do. Remind myself that I'm a champion.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, aside from Pantoja, um, ever any thoughts about going up in weight
Nah,
in another division?
I'm a small 25er. You know what I mean? Like if you ask me, but I just like to fight my natural weight, man. But you know what I mean? When I get older, I feel like I'll gain more weight. Then maybe we could talk about going up.
Right.
You,
Well,
what do you walk around at, Joshua?
I'm light as fuck. What? 140? Yeah, 141, 42.
Okay.
and also to have, out of curiosity, um, sponsors after a performance like that, and you don't have to say what or when or where. Did you get approached by other like deals coming in? You know, people wanting you to be part of something.
Yes, sir. The opportunity has been like a lot of opportunity has been open.
Good, good. And your management handling it well, because this is where
Yes,
you're going to
sir.
make the money. You're going to make the money
Yeah.
on these on the outside the octagon. Not that you don't make it inside, but outside the octagon, so you make significantly more money to add to the the purses that you receive.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Jason. You know, he's doing his thing with them sponsors. So, yeah, I'm happy with what he got me.
Jason knows what he's doing. He's got, I think, he's got a number of his fighters at my site, millions.co, making merch and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you're on that yet, but he can guide you through that over
Yes,
there.
sir.
You doing cameos or anything like that? Cameo videos or anything?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. Well, think about it. It
Yes,
adds
sir.
extra income. Could be a car payment, could be a house payment a month for you as you grow.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're an explosive point in your career. Every time you step in and step out of that octagon, it's taking you to another level. So you want to prepare for it as much as possible.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
You mentioned a house payment, Buff. I know Joshua is a family man, and you were able to buy your mom a house. What was that like?
She's very happy. Like I'm in her house right now. So it is,
Nice.
yeah. Like we
You're a guy that keeps his circle pretty small, Joshua. How important is that to sort of stay level headed?
Yeah, man. When you get win like that, like new people trying to comes and things like that. I mean, sometimes it's not always a good thing, but I mean, I always know who stayed with me in the beginning and things like that. So I like to keep my circle small and listen to the same people that guide me here. So yeah.
Buff mentioned that you have the opportunity to be one of the youngest UFC champions, and when you're young, I mean, even John Jones, who was on a tear when he was younger, people said, "Oh, is this too much too soon?" Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about the timeline and is this too much too soon, or are you just ready for it all?
I feel like it's too late because I really, really, really want to be the youngest champion in the UFC, but you know what I mean. Everything happened for a reason. You know what I mean. So God is the perfect planner. So whatever He give me, I'll take it.
What is the timeline? Is there a timeline?
Yeah, I'll become a champion this year by the end of this year.
Good.
All
And
right.
I'll look very, very forward to, no offense to Pantoja, of course, because again, may the best man win. But I have you on the show right now. I'm looking at you. I'm extremely impressed by you. And it would be an honor to say, and new,
Sir. Yes,
much
sir.
more emphasis on the and new when I say it, but just for the sake of getting it across. So I look forward.
Final question here, Buff, if you don't mind.
Oh, go.
Joshua, that was one of the best fights we've seen this year. I think fight of the year. It might be the best, sort of flyweight title eliminator we've ever seen. It was very close. Going into that third and final round, what was your mindset? What got you through that fight, and how confident were you that you were going to get your hand raised?
I was confident, man. Like during the fight, I thought I lost the second round. You know what I mean? But going into the third round, I feel like I got my timings and everything, and I feel like I don't even need that knockdown for me to win, but it just make it clear. You know what I mean? So, but looking back in the fight, man, I feel like I won all three rounds because if we score on like damage and stuff like that, I feel like I do more damage even on the second round. You know what I mean? He land jab and things like that, but you know what I mean. I was all good.
Very cool. You celebrate afterwards?
Yeah, I did.
How does Joshua Van
Went,
celebrate?
I went on vacation. I'm a family man, man. I don't really do too crazy. I don't really get too crazy. Just travel around the country.
Okay. All right. Well, you know
Where'd you
what?
go?
Everywhere, like we'll go to Tennessee's and Kentucky's and things like that. We do a road trip. Yeah.
Nice. Is
Nice.
it is it is it in a van?
Nah, it was in the truck. I was hoping it was in
Okay.
the vans, but yeah.
That's funny. It's like if you're in a van driving, you can go, it's the Joshua van. You can put it
Yeah,
down.
the Joshua man. Yep.
All right, Joshua. Listen, I wish you all the best in your upcoming career. I look forward to seeing you in the octagon and roaring your name to the millions watching when it comes time for that big championship fight. I know you'll be ready to go. I know you'll be prepared. You can look forward to receiving honors for this fight moving forward as possible fight of the year. Who knows? Maybe even a Hall of Fame induction. I mean, anything's possible in life, Joshua. Just write them down. Keep going for it. Stay positive. Uh, stay the fine man that you are and a role model in the UFC, which you are. And obviously, as I can see, you're a fine family man. And cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, Joshua. Thank you for being on the show.